Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Last night we were in Ranana, and I got back at 1:30 in the morning. But I want to say a tremendous shkoyach to the staff, including Avremi Cohen, Dave Sharfman, Gary Ben Moshe. They went 2 hours before the shir to set up, and they got back to Ramat Shemesh after 1:30, and they had to unload all the equipment at 1:30 in the morning, all the screens and and Avremi Cohen is up there in the booth right now, nice and bright early. Shkoyach, so thank you. It's guys like that. Be'ez Hashem, if you come to the Shabbaton, Dave is sitting learning, Gary schluffing away. Sunday morning. Be'ezrat Hashem, all of them will be at the Shabbaton, and if you want to get to meet them up in personal, including yourself, including Mendy, are you coming? Be'ezrat Hashem. I don't want to put you on the spot, but are you coming? We're halfway there. You're halfway there? So what? Your wife is coming, you're not? The kids are. You're coming. Okay, Givaldik. They told me this morning there's only 20 rooms left, which is incredible. So you got a chaparain. A lot to talk about. There's a live shir. Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll be giving a live shir in Brooklyn, Borough Park. Last time that shir was the first daf of Gitin. 1,500 people showed up. My favorite picture, one of my favorite pictures of MDY. It's in the same place. A tremendous ishkoyach, I forgot his name. He gave us the hall. He's part of MDY. He gave us the entire hall for free with a keyboard, I think. Here it is. Begin with Daf Yomi, first daf of Sanhedrin live. Daf Beis, Wednesday evening in the ballroom. Benyamin Kornbluth? Benyamin Kornbluth. Yishkoyach Gadol Ma'oid. He sat right in front of me. It's on 51st Street in Brooklyn. Nice hall. What? It's called the ballroom. The ballroom. Yeah. So Yishkoyach Gadol to him. You go to Daf Yomi live, I think. You have to sign. You should sign up. What? I don't know. It says 1371, 51st Street. You'll be there? It's kedai to be. You'll be there. Mendy will be there. It's unbelievable. It's something special. We received this picture. These are guys in a spa. There's what is it called? What's it called? Chamat something. Chamat Gader. There's like 10 guys that got on Zoom with their robes. They're so cool. They're holding Gemaras. They're talking to me during Shir Live. And these are the 6 that agreed to be in a picture doing it. I thought it was very cool. These are the new sponsors. We have the Amim group, Kvutzat Amim, which donated $15,000 towards the Shabbaton. And this is a Peloploy. We have Ari Simon from Adar Global, sits right over there. Right now he's in America. He's with the shir for 40 days. 40 days. And donated $30,000 towards the Siyum here in Eretz Yisrael and the Hadron in America. It's basically for the Olam here, because he's from Eretz Yisrael, but we're going to be mechaberim with the Hadron. As of Friday, 130 Chayalim joined officials program and 200 Americans. So to explain, if you're a Chayal here in Eretz Yisrael, where's the Chayal? We have a Chayal here. Where is he? Donnie's. That's your kid? Why is he sitting next to you? Yes. Hi, Donnie, son. What's your first name again? That's not Shmuel. What? Shraga. You doing officials program? Come on, 2,000 shekel. Anyways, if you're a Kachot Bitachon, if you're a cop or a Chayal, you could get 2,000 shekel if you finish Sanhedrin. If you've never done Daf Yomi before, he's offering $1,000 if you finish Sanhedrin. All you have to do is check in every day, say, I've done. 200 people signed up for that. So if all 200 finish, that's $200,000. 130 Chayalim signed up. And it's tough to do it when you're a Chayal. All that Miluim and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't really talk a whole lot about the Shabbaton. Before I talk about anything, I have to say a tremendous Shalom Aleichem to Rabbi Schoenberg, Baruch Refei Cholim. It's great to have you back. Wow. It was a long thing. Okay, Shkoyach. Wow. What's a niggin? What's a niggin? What do you sing? Baruch Reifei Chaylim Da-da V'kiyimanu v'giyanu Lazman hazeh Shechiyanu V'kiyimanu v'giyanu Lazman hazeh Baruch Ato Hashem Elokeinu Melech haolam Shechiyanu V'kiyimanu v'giyanu A lot of people say, why do you give out free Gemara? So what, the guy can't afford a Gemara? Here's a story. Marvin Diamond from Ksuvas Daf Beis started with a free Gemara, hoping to last 7 days. Couldn't pass up such a good deal. Then I was surprised that a month passed by and I was still going strong. Had a stroke, but didn't miss a day. Asked my wife to bring my phone and Gemara to the hospital. Baruch Hashem, complete recovery. Enough so that a week later I was able to bring my grandsons to the Siyum in Miami, where I met Rebelli. One Masechta after another, one Siyum after another, then the biggie, Bava Basra, 6 months. Now on the verge of finishing Bava Basra. Today is his 1000th daf anniversary. 1000 daf straight. Emir Hashem, I can join MDY all the way until the end of Shas. Finally, brachas until Yavamas for my personal Siyum of Shas. Who would have thought from a free Gemara? Free Gemara. That's why I keep on saying, you give a guy, it costs $50, let's say. The Gemara, shipping, a little marketing. The guy did 1,000 daf with us. All of us, because I watched Behind the Bima with the Rabbis Goldberg, Moskowitz, and Brody in Boca Raton. And yes, it changed my life too. Marvin Diamond, Boynton Beach, Florida, originally from Baltimore, pictured are my grandsons with me at the Miami Siyum. Oh, these buttons are not, Remy. I don't have buttons. That's why I can't get it. Here's Marvin Diamond and his 2 grandsons at the Miami Siyum. I didn't realize how nice it was. Look at the background, the whole nice drapes and everything. Okay. Anshe Ches in Boynton Beach. Gewaldig. Check this out. Is Robert Early here today? Every time we speak about him, he disappears. You know, he'll come right. What? He flew to America.
I saw him Friday.
Awesome. I also did. So, Ashi Gevaldik. Listen to this. They're doing a Siyum of Bava Basra in Baltimore with all this shtick from Bava Basra. And on the bottom it says, Lilu Nishmas Benyamin Early. And he wrote to me in the email what the pshat is. And it's chus for Robert Early, who inspired me to keep on dafing. This guy got a tremendous chizuk from Robert, who came here. It's not, we can't even, let's not think about it even. But just understand that the day after his shiva on his son, on an 18-year-old kid, he came to learn the daf. Because he said he had it, he didn't want to, but it just gave him chizuk and that was it. Tearing up thinking about it. Let's do this one and that's it. Erev Shabbos leparshas katointi mikol hachasodim umikol ha'emes. B'siyad Shema, dear Belly, words cannot express the gratitude I feel towards Hashem for creating a world with such a mashpia such as yourself. I'm embarrassed to admit that I never learned Bava Basra, and that is until you came onto the scene and successfully convinced me how doable it was. Proudly and with Hashem's continued guidance, I'm in the last parak. With a renewed excitement every day, watching your shir on all daf or YouTube. In addition, my WhatsApp media file from MDY. It's full of illustrations. My kids, Baruch Hashem, love those AI animations that Yoshi puts together. A lot of nachas, knowing that as young as they are, you hear this naftali. I can adequately explain the story behind each graphic. You're not only helping more people learn Torah Hashem, but you're also helping us in fulfilling the promise of May you and your entire family reap the rewards, both in this world and the next. P.S. While I was looking forward to attend the Shabbos, okay, Be'ezer Hashem, next year I'll be able to afford it. Pini Glovin, Yasher Koyach. Rabbi Isai, we're holding all the way on top of Daf Kufay and Gimel. Let me just do the sponsors for a second before I forget. Chas v'shalom. The Masechta for safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa chodesh linishma Zechariah ben Moshe linishma Chaya bas Yosef. Parnassa chodesh Refuat hanefesh and guf for Breina Bina bat Miriam baila or bracha bat Breina Bina Netanel Kalev ben or bracha. Parnassa chodesh for fasting complete Refuah sheleyma for Shmuel Nechemia ben Hinda. Parnassa chodesh linishma Silya bas Dvora. Parnassa chodesh linishma Benyamin ben Dovid Hashem yinkom damai. Parnassa Shavua, Refuah sheleyma for Yosef Chaim. Shmuel ben Nechemia from his grateful family. Parnassa Hayom, Benyamin Kornbluth, and family in honor of the yahrzeit of his father-in-law, Dovid Ben Avraham, Yud, Dalet, Kislev. Remember that guy? Benyamin Kornbluth.
Chaim's brother?
Yeah. I think that's who it is. His father was nifter, like young, like something happened. Boom. I don't remember he had a feet.
No.
Yeah, Benyamin.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Not Chaim, Benyamin's father-in-law. Benyamin's father-in-law. This is in honor of the yahrzeit of his father-in-law, Dovid Ben Avraham. What was his last name? He was a guy here from what? Reuben? Oh, okay. Dr. Marc Berkson, in honor of my father, Jerry Berkson. May Hashem grant him continued good health. Amen. The Novoseller family. לעלוי Nishmas Harav Moshe Chanoich Mordechai ben Dovid sheleyma HaKohen, who passed Thursday. The heart of the month. Shom should have an aliyah. The heart of the month was chus for rebellion. The whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Rabbi Sai, here we go. The bottom line is, I got to tell you this before I forget. You're not going to believe this. Before Shabbos, the guy for the Israeli shir, they decided to take this seriously and get people to join Sanhedrin. How? They encouraged each other to put on their status. They didn't just look at me and say, yeah, it's a great idea status. They actually went and did it. And before Shabbos, they got over 500 people to join. And by today, you're not going to believe this. From Erev Shabbos till today, 1,300 people already joined. 1,300. This is the Israelis led by Benny and Dave and all the Israeli guys. In addition, we're doing a massive siyum in the Emerald. Over 350 tickets sold already. And we're stopping at about 600, I think. So, chaparayim. Daf Kufayin Gimel on the top. Remember, we had a nice sugya about a star falling. Are we choishish? We have two people with the same exact name. Interesting ma'isa. Guys, I know it's Sunday morning and the Olam is, all excited. A guy came over to me in Renana. We were talking about a falling star. What's the? I'm stuck now. What's the mathematical equation? How do you say it? What's the probability? What's the probability that you will lose a star? That a star that says a nice sum on it will fall out of your pocket. And B, that the guy that picks it up is going to be the same exact person as your name. Same person, same name. What's the probability? I mean, I did one little cheshbon that it's 1 out of 1 million that drops something and you have 1,000 people in your city, it's 1 in 1 billion. So I don't know what the probability is. Comes over to me after shir, says his wife's name is Nechama Chana. I don't know, some interesting combination. He's walking down the street and he sees a piece of paper, so he picks it up. And it's a mother writing a young daughter going to school. He says, I'm so proud of you, Nechama Chana. Somebody completely different, the same name. So here's the probability, 1 in 1 billion.
After you spoke to him?
After I said the shir last night, he comes over to me after the shir. I said, this is a sorghum after Sukkot. Why don't you scream it out in the middle of the shir? We've been givaldik. Okay, anyway, so we're not concerned. The Gemara says we're not concerned that something like this will happen. This is too far-fetched.
The daughter of someone. Right, there's no bias.
Correct. But I'm saying, this is, Nechama Chana is like Yosef ben Shimon. It's the same probability, right? Yosef ben Shimon or Yoel ben Moshe in Williamsburg is just, if not, Nechama Chana. How many Nechama Chanas? I don't know any Nechamas. I barely know Chanas. Nechama Chana, whoo! Anyway. What? Yeah? Now somebody's going to say, my daughter's name is Nechama Chana. Okay.
My daughter's name is Nechama Chana.
I know all your daughters, it's Elisheva, and trust me, I know their names. Shkoyach Judah. Thank you. So, not everybody likes these kind of charts. I'll show it anyway. There's not a lot going on today. When you have, how do I show this? How come my buttons are not working? Okay, so you're going to have to turn everything on. You got to be on top of your game. When you see me going like this, just click. And do not take it off. 2 Yosef and Shimon's. Okay, I need the next one. This is crazy. Go. Hit the button. I can't. Oh, this button works. Okay, good. It's it's a lot of, I don't like these kinds of charts, but whatever. We have three things that could happen here. You have somebody with the same exact name in the same city. Could you use a shtar? So when one against the other, the Mishnah said no way. My name is Yosef ben Shimon, your name is Yosef ben Shimon. I can't come to you with the shtar and say, hey, you owe me money. Because maybe it's the opposite, maybe I owe you. We have the same name. What if somebody else comes and says, hey, you owe me money to one of the Yosef ben Shimons? Yosef ben Shimon could deflect it and say, it's not me. You're coming to the wrong guy. There's another guy in the same city with the same name. Go to him. And you go to him and he tells you, go to the other guy. Nothing you can do about it. What if somebody owes them money? Somebody owes them money. Can they go after that someone? So the Mishnah says yes. Let's see what it says over here. We're going to see three brises, three-way machlokes. Here the brisa says you can't use the shtar for anything. Yosef ben Shimon can't ask anybody for money. Top of Kufayin Gimel. Just like one Yosef ben Shimon can't go to the other Yosef ben Shimon. We have the same name. I cannot collect from you and you can't collect from me. So Yosef ben Shimon cannot go to Ruvain, Pluppel place, whatever his name, and say, hey, you owe me $1 million. Why? Because Reuven is going to say, I don't owe you $1 million. I owe the other guy $1 million. What's pshat? What? How does the first Yosef ben Shimon have the shtar? Where did he get it from? If you owe the other Yosef ben Shimon, so why am I holding the shtar? My name is Yosef ben Shimon. I come with the shtar and I go to Judah. He says, Judah, you owe me $1 million. Judah says, no. Very nice. I admit I owe $1 million, but not to you. To the other guy that has the same name. Why am I holding the shtar? How do I have it? So you're going to tell me because you found it in the street. We just said the probability that I found that guy's shtar with the same name is close to 0. So then what is the pshat? Why could you deflect it? Says the Gemara, what's the machlokes between this brayso and our Mishnah? We already had that. I'm scared to go off this. Okay, we'll go off it. Why not? Here we go. This is just lahamchesh. Oisos means a shtar. A piece of paper is worth nothing. It's only worth what it's written on it. So if it says $1 million, it's worth $1 million. But the actual paper is worth 1 penny. So can I just, let's say, you Judah owe me money, and I have a shtar. Can I just give it over to Naphtali? Here, Naphtali, take the shtar. I gave it to him. Now you owe him. How did it work? He didn't make a kinyan, nothing. I gave him the shtar. Does it work? Or perhaps it's not enough. I have to write another document saying I gave the money you owe me to Naphtali. So the reason why I could use the shtar and the reason why this works, you see, there's a green thing all the way on the left. It works. I could use the shtar to collect is because I could just give it over. One Yosef ben Shimon gave it over to the other Yosef ben Shimon. It works. How did I get it? Not because I picked it up in the street. He gave it to me. The Tana Bara Savar, but the Tana the Brisa holds, the reason why it doesn't work is because I can't just give it to someone. I need another document, an additional document to say that I gave it to Naphtali. And if Naphtali doesn't have another document proving it, it doesn't work. Only in a case like this where there's two people with the same name and there's issues, then you need another document to show it. If I hold on to a shtar, when I hold on to a shtar, then I'm the owner. You can't say, oh, maybe you found it, maybe this, maybe that. It has my name in it. In this situation where we have the same names in the same city and there's a problem, then we say, prove it that it's yours. Now, there is something, let me show you, something called harsha. Does anybody remember what this means?
Yeah, culture.
Oh, very good. Now, I know that you're not looking in the R scroll because you have one of the Gemaras that my father got for his chasana. You remember those big, giant red ones that weigh 40 pounds? That's what he's using. So I know you're not cheating. He's right. Harsha means power of attorney. What's going on here? My name is Yosef ben Shimon. His name is Yosef ben Shimon. And we come to Naphtali, you owe me $1 million. I come. I said, you owe me $1 million. He says, get out of here. I owe him. And it goes back and forth. You and I could get together, and I give you power of attorney, and you give me power of attorney, and then we go to him. And now he must pay us. Why? Because he owes one of us. He can't get out of it now. Before, he's just bouncing around between the two of us. But now when me and you get together, he owes us the money. That's called our shah. Then it would work. Then we could get him. Then we could do a deal between, once we have the money, we could split it 50-50, we could do something. Or maybe you know that I'm in the right and not you. Whatever it is, that's how we could get him.
What does the Shtar Shah say?
The Shtar Shah says that I give you the right to collect and you give me the right to collect. So to both of us together, we're collecting it. Now, he can't say, oh, it's not you, it's him. It's him, it's not. Yeah, you're right, it's not me, it's him. But we're in the Shtar. Power of attorney. Weiter. What? There are no Eidim. Next, the Ibai Sema, the Kuli Alma Oisis Nixon bin Masira. Or you could say that everybody holds that I could just give over a document to somebody else and he could collect with that document. What's the machlokes between our mission and this brisa? But do I need Eidim that testify that I gave the shtar, my shtar, that says that you owe me $1 million, I gave it to Naphtali? Do I need to prove it with Eidim? Or no, he just waves the shtar and that's enough. Tana, Didan, our Mishnah holds, you don't have to, and that's why you could collect with it. But Tana Bara, but the Tana of the Brisa holds, the reason why you cannot collect with it is because you need to bring Eidim, and you don't have Eidim, so you stop. The Itmar, we learned, in a case, obviously this is a case of where the name in the shtar doesn't match your name, right? My name is Eli. I go to somebody and say, hey, you owe me money. You owe me $1 million. And I pull out a shtar that says, you owe Dovid money. He looks at it and he says, but your name is not Dovid. Your name is Eli. So I say, you're right, but Dovid gave it to me. Is that good or not good? That's I'm holding a document. There's an IOU. I don't care what name it says. You owe money to somebody here. I'm holding the document, pay me. Like a check, yeah, like anything else. It doesn't have your name. Sorry, but I have your check. I have a check. It says you have to pay $1,000. You have to pay. And in our case, in our Gemara, it's the same thing. My name not matching this shtar is the same thing as my name being the same as somebody else in the city has the same name. Now we have a problem. The name is not good enough for us. Now, Abaya Omar Tzorch Lavi Raya. You have to bring a raya. I asked my Chavrusa Kasha, and he told me a very nice answer, and I found his answer later on. Let me ask you the kasha. I think it's a typical Gemara cup kind of thing. I'm going to ask a question. You have to see what's the difference between this and this. I asked him. There's a cloud. If somebody comes over and says this jacket is theirs, could they make a claim like that? Why not? Chazaka. Huh? I'm looking for what Dambi is saying, Rabbi Dambi. Chazaka. Yeah. But there's a word, there's a statement. There's the chazaka. That what? Whatever I'm holding on to is mine. In Karka, it takes 3 years, whatever. But in Metaltalin, the fact that this is mine because it's on me. Chazaka, I have a chazaka, I'm holding it. Huh? Possession is 9/10 of the law in English, yeah? Okay, so what do you mean? Oh, that he? But I have it now. Simon Shemir, I bought it from him, I don't know what. All right. Okay. So if I have a shtar, this is the question I asked my Chavrusa. So first he said, it's a good question. Thought. And within 20 seconds he came up with this, but I found that he was right. If I'm holding on to a shtar, it's metalton, chazaka, it's mine. What am I concerned? Maybe it fell, maybe I picked it up, maybe another Yosef and Shimon gave it to me, maybe not, maybe... I'm holding on to it. It's mine. What's the answer? Very simple. After you hear the answer, you say, oh, why is that? Why is a shtar different than this Gemara that I'm holding on to? I'm holding the shtar.
It's about getting something else from someone else. It's not.
That's the answer. Very good. You hear what he's saying? Very good. Yeah, exactly. The shtar is just saying that somebody else, I'm trying to get $1 million out of somebody else. Where's the $1 million? I'm not holding on to it. He's holding on to it. I'm just holding a piece of paper. And that's why I can make there's no chazak here. But they talk about it. Good. Mechaven. Excellent. And I have more respect for you. If there's such a thing. No, it's already up here. Now it's like above. Reb Nachman, I want to know, seriously, is there going to be a good speech? I want like something like out of this world.
Cry like a baby.
Oh no. I like those, but oh no. Omar Abaya.
I don't know.
That's just halavai.
Maybe we'll get one too.
I'm gonna hold myself stark, or I'll bring some lemons and I'll go like this. Whatever, it depends. Omar Abaya. Menamina lo destanyo. Oh, Bava, sorry, I skipped. Omar Abaya. Abaya Omar tzok lo viraya has to bring a raya. Bava Omar Eid tzok lo viraya. Omar Abaya. Menamina lo. Why do I say that you have to bring a raya when the name and the star doesn't match the person? Or there's two Yosef and Shimons. How do I know I don't have to? I do have to bring a raya. Rabbi says you don't have to bring a raya. And this is also typical Gemara. You have to read this and say, why is this different in our case? There's a case here. You have a bunch of brothers that inherited. So one of the brothers, the big chacham, he comes and says, "Oh, you see this $1 million star? All the stars says $100. Lucky him, he has the $1 million star in his hand. Oh, and daddy gave it to me right before he died. No, does that sound normal? It's typical, yeah? I don't know if you know, like by Yerushas, the way it works a lot of times, unfortunately, this brother walks into the house after and he takes the esrog box. Because daddy told me once, 30 years ago that lachamei vesrim, you get it. He chaps this guy chaps that, and then there's fights and issues. So the Gemara says over here, he's shaking his head. Yeah, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, this brother has the star. So he has to bring a raya. So says, Abaya, my lavua din lachrini. So l'chayra, just like the brother has to bring a raya. So anytime somebody pulls out a star, he has to bring a raya. Says the Gemara, no. The moira heter, this is the biggest problem that we have. People are moira heter. What does moira heter mean? If they make cheshbonos. If daddy was here, for sure give it to me. He knows I need it. He knows I'm poor, and my other brothers, they need the money. People do this all the time. It's noirvayim. It's called moira heter. Making a heter to yourself. You know that you're not right, but the Yitzhar. That happens a lot by brothers. It happens by family, by mishpach, unfortunately. By other people, not. It's like when you have brothers, you're so close, and this. Listen, I took care of daddy his last 3 years. I don't deserve a little bit more than everybody else. Avad, I deserve it. So I took a little bit more star than the other guy. No. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. No. That's why they have to bring a raya and not other people. And some people say the opposite. That Rava actually used this for his case, not Abai using it for himself. Rava took this and said, look, I'm right. Why? I'm a Rava. How do you know that you don't have to bring a raya? Exactly from here. Only brothers have to bring a raya because they're bad to each other. Brothers have a big problem of being married one to the other, but other people not. The reason why it says Achim, not to make a big deal like you are making Rava, but it happens to be we have to talk about brothers. So there's logic in the opposite way. I agree that brothers, there's a lot of moira heter going on with brothers. They're brothers, and there's a father, and there's a lot of politics. I'm the oldest, I'm the youngest. He anyways bought you a house, so he probably wanted to give me this $1 million after he never bought me anything. So there's always something going on. So by brothers, the brothers watch each other like hawks. So maybe since they're so careful, then they're always nervous that the other guy is going to chop the star, whatever, then they're not going to grab the star. So that's why it says mufurish. No, even brothers have to bring a raya with the star. Maybe they wouldn't have to bring a raya. Anyway, you can go both ways. And finally, Rabbi Sai, we have the third shita. Oops, this way. So as the Breisa number 1 says, nobody, if you find a star, or you have a star with a name that's very similar to somebody else in the exact same name in the city, Yosef ben Shimon. So the Breisa says you can never use it for anything. Not you against him, not them against you, and not you to go collect money from anybody. You can never use it. The second Breisa is much more lenient. In 2 out of the 3 cases, you can use the star. It says mafurish. Just like you could use my name is Yosef ben Shimon, and there's another Yosef ben Shimon down the block. I could use the star to collect money from Judah, somebody else. They could also use it against each other. I could use it against the Yosef ben Shimon. My name is Yosef ben Shimon, I can use it against Yosef ben Shimon. Why did they argue against our Mishnah? So if we think about this for a second, a guy, a borrower, goes to a cipher, brings two Eidim with him. He tells the cipher and the Eidim, my name is Yosef ben Shimon. Please write a shtar that I owe $1 million to Yosef ben Shimon. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I'm putting myself in default. I am admitting that I owe $1 million to another guy by the same name. Could something go wrong? What could go wrong? Huh?
Start to fall out of your hands, and he could find it. He could be begging from you.
No, we're not. We're not worried about falling in it.
We're not worried about that.
Oh, he's going to claim he's the Malva. It says Yosef ben Shimon owes $1 million to Yosef ben Shimon. He doesn't know that guy. That guy owes him. By the way, I have to say Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. You're hiding over there. What's your names?
Sara, Rosemary. Yeah, Rosenbaum.
Shalom Aleichem from? West Hempstead? New York. Shalom Aleichem. All right. Anybody else that I missed over here? Sneaking. They all like, they duck. Oh no, it's coming up. But now they warmed up. Chaya. So, Tani don't sava kaisim shtar lelev vav bishin malva imoy. Our Tana holds that the cipher has no problem. You can write a shtar to the leiva. Why? And therefore, since you could write such a shtar, that's why you cannot use it against another Yosef ben Shimon. Zimin da'azal l'gabi safra v'sadi. Sometimes Mr. Yosef ben Shimon will go to a cipher and tell the cipher, please write me a shtar that another Yosef ben Shimon, I owe the other Yosef ben Shimon money. L'gabi safra v'sadi, and he'll bring Eidim. And he tells the Eidim and the cipher, Kisvuli shtar the beginning of the Yosef ben Shimon. I want you to write a shtar that I owe money. I'm a big tzaddik. I'm admitting I owe money to the other Yosef ben Shimon, Chavre, my friend. Well, boss the Kasvi, and after they write the shtar, and they sign it, he grabs it, he goes to the guy and says, sir, you owe me $1 million. Yeah, look, it says Mefurish in the shtar, you owe me $1 million.
Why should we care? He can say it back to him.
No, but he's holding up to the shtar. He's holding the shtar. He's holding the shtar. So, therefore, he holds. They're not lying. They didn't see, but Yosef ben Shimon admitted. What's the big deal?
They didn't see the transaction.
If you say, if your name wasn't Yosef ben Shimon, your name was Nachman, and my name is Eli, could you go to a cipher and say, please write a shtar that Nachman owes $1 million? What could go wrong? Nothing go wrong.
Don't you have to have Edom on the transaction?
But if it's not,
saw anything here. Like why? What's
the big deal? He's Maida. But you see that you shouldn't do it because it could be a bad thing could come out of this. Tana bara sovar ayer. Tana bara sovar ein kozim shtar leloiva at shemal v'imoy. So our Tana holds that there's no reason to be concerned because no cipher in the world will ever write a shtar like that. And Memela, if you produce a shtar like that, you could go ahead and collect with it. If the Malva, we're going to understand right now, the Malva finds in his belongings, it says that the shtar of Yosef ben Shimon is paid off. So then, both Yosef and Shimon's that have shtar by him are considered paid off. Says the Gemara, time the nimtza. That's only because you found a receipt. It seems like if there's no receipt, you could use. I have a shtar that says Yosef ben Shimon owes me money. I could go after Yosef ben Shimon. But how could that be? Asked the Gemara. Didn't we learn that if there are two people in the same city with the same exact name, I can't use the shtar against either one of them because each one could tell me it's the other guy. The reason why I could go collect with the shtar is because it has his grandfather's name. It says Yosef ben Shimon ben Yaakov, and that's different than the other shtar. So now I know that he's the right guy, and I could go after that guy. I could go after Yosef ben Shimon because it says his last name. Or here in Eretz Yisrael, let's say you put your Tudat Zud in there. Every shtar you have has a certain social security number in it, and that's it. So I know it's you. So what if you have the same name? Says the Gemara, if that's the case, so why does it say by us that if he found a receipt, then you can't collect from any of the Yosef ben Shimon? But doesn't the receipt have the social security number on it? Doesn't the receipt have his grandfather's name on it? Says the Gemara, no. What happened was there's a grandfather's name on the shtar, but the receipt, unfortunately, forgot to write the grandfather's name, so now you're stuck. You have two shtaris that have Yosef and Shimon with their grandfather's names, different names, and you have a receipt that one Yosef and Shimon paid you $1 million, and you don't know which one it is, so you're stuck, you can't collect with it. Now, by the way, does it mean that the guy, Yosef and Shimon, that owes the $1 million doesn't have to pay halachically and klap yishmaya? Of course he has to pay. If he admits that he has to pay, then he has to pay. He can't say, "Oh, but you have a." It says in the Mishnah you don't have to pay because if you find the receipt, then you don't know how to use the receipt. It just means you, as the malva, you the lender, you can't go after anybody. But if they admit that there was a loan, so certainly they have to pay. In klap yishmaya they have to pay. We're not talking about the malva. We're talking about the loiva. This is crazy. The borrower has a receipt that he paid $1 million. The problem is he owes another $1 million and he doesn't know to which Yosef and Shimon, they have the same exact name. He's potter. You hear what's going on there? He owes $1 million, but he doesn't know, because he doesn't know who to pay, we can't be mechayev him to pay. It's hard to understand.
He has a shtar that what?
Mr. Loiva borrowed $2 million, one from this Yosef and Shimon on the right and one from the Yosef and Shimon on the left. He has a receipt that he paid Yosef and Shimon back $1 million. That means he still has a $1 million outstanding debt. And doesn't know if the guy from the right or the guy on the left. And they can't prove it and he can't prove it. So what, he's supposed to pay again $1 million to each one? He doesn't pay.
He's part of the Gamra or still Klap Yishmaya?
I'm sure he's chayiv klap yishmaya. Yeah, okay.
Exactly the case we had.
The halacha say all about who's chayav.
The halacha is who could Bezdin be mighty. We're talking about Bezdin being mechayev. There's nothing Bezdin can do. They can't prove it.
That's exactly what we passed on this case.
On this case?
Yeah.
I don't know why you
If
say
you
this
owe
case. You owe two people money.
Sure, the money. The question is which one. One of them is lying.
So the case that you put in the
that case,
okay. I don't know if it's exactly, but similar. Fine. Says the Gemara. Oh. Nimtza la loiva ben shiraysav. The loiva owes money, but he found the receipt. He found the receipt that says, I paid off Yosef and Shimon, but the problem is there's two of them. What's the Eitzah? Judah, what's the Eitzah over here? What could they do? Judah, what could they do? Anybody else? What could the... There's two Yosef and Shimons, both of them gave $1 million loan, one of them was paid back. Oh, Rabbi Greenberg says they do our Shah. They get together, they do a power of attorney. Remember? They get together, and now he's going to have to pay the $1 million to both of them. He'll give it, put it in the middle, and now it's going to come out of his pocket. But there's one trick, says the Rashbam, and this is brought down Allah. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. If the loiva is a bad guy, he could say, I have a receipt that says that I paid $1 million because I actually paid $1 million to you and $1 million to you, and both of you together wrote me a receipt that you paid $1 million. It sounds a little tricky.
You have to have proof on the staff. It has to say that both of them did it.
No, the response says you don't need proof like that. To get out of the power of attorney, he just needs to claim that they both paid him back, and this is a receipt for both of them. If he wants to be a bad guy, Kesi Yasu, you shall let you, yeah.
The Ganov is going to make extra money.
Ninta Chaytan Isker. No, he's not gonna. You mean he's not gonna have to pay his loan?
No,
he won't have to pay his loan. Yeah, he owes $1 million. He's gonna get out of it. Exactly. But Klab Yishmaya, Hashem is gonna get him. There's nothing you can do. Can't get out of it. What should a person do when he has the same exact name as somebody else in the city? So here in Eretz Yisrael, it's not a problem. You can put your license number on. You could put your Tzudat Zot. What do you do in the time of the Gemara? You put your grandfather's name. What if Tanam Hayushneim Koyanim? What if both of them? I said yesterday an incredible story, but you didn't hear this. A Maisa Shahayu Kachaya. I looked into it, but I'll say it again because it's such a crazy Maisa. A guy in Bnei Brak, at his 15th child's bris, he named his child the same name as another child. He forgot that he named what?
Bardak.
No, but the Maisa, yeah.
It's a Bardak.
I didn't know. Okay, that I did. I know Bardaks. I'm very familiar with most of them.
Come on again. Why you just named the kid the same name?
What covering? I could just hear the mother fainting in the Nashim. Anyway, But what happened was, I looked at it, what happened was that he named his kid after the Stipler, Yaakov Yisrael, but his first kid was Yisrael Meir after the Chavetz Chaim. They both have the Yisraels, but they never used it, like they called the kid Meir. So he never chap, My kid's name is Yoel Chaim. I once forgot that his name is, we call him Yo. Chaim is like a... So anyway, so that's why I'm just saying that could be a way that the guy has the same name, and he actually has the same father, and even the same grandfather, because they happen to be brothers. But that's not what we're talking about over here, because it says Kohanim. One was a Kohen, one wasn't a Kohen. Okay. Yichtavu Dairais. So you should write, keep on going up generations.
What did they do?
Hold on a second. Well, 2 questions per person. Says the Mishnah. Listen to this. You're going to like this. Hold on. Wait. We only have 4 minutes to do the whole Amud. Look at Amud Beis. It's not short. A person tells his son, I have a pile of stars here, and one of them actually is paid off. So take a look at this.
Do you see all the papers here?
Yes.
These are Shitrei Chov from people who owe me money. In total, it's close to $30 million. I remember now that one of them is already repaid. Only he didn't take the star from me.
Which one?
I've been trying to remember for a month.
Shalom.
20 seconds ago, I inherited Shitrei Chov from my father, but he said that one of them is already repaid. He doesn't know which one. What am I supposed to do?
Well, the Mishnah says that none of them can be collected.
Ah.
But the Mishnah continues. Hello?
The Mishnah
Hello?
continues.
Is anyone there?
Okay, so there's $30 million worth of shtaris. There's one of them in there. I don't know if it's $10, $1 million. One of them is paid off. And now what? Now you can't go after any of them because one of them you know for certain that is paid off. Shtaris kulon prun. You have to assume all $30 million is paid off. You can't do anything with it unless, of course, people come forward and say, listen, I owed your father money. Sometimes you have something like that. They come at the Levaya, I want to pay back. Great. But there's a way out of this. What if there's 2 documents, and that happens a lot. One person took 2 loans. Yaakov. Mazal Tov. Our famous Yaakov, he's all the way in the corner. He's the corner man. He's quiet, but knows his stuff. We had a few times that nobody knew the answer, and he knew the answer. So he made a chassan of her son. So there's 2 documents in that pile to the same person. Now the father said 1 shtar is paid off. Okay, so 1 out of the 2, but the rest of the $30 million you can go after. Now which one of the 2? One is for $1 million, one is for $500,000. So obviously you could only assume that the smaller amount was paid off. Right? So, sorry, Hagadol Perua. Yeah, the opposite. The larger amount is the one that was paid off because you are using the shtar to get money from somebody. The Malva says, I have a shtar that says that you paid off. Hagadol Perua. So now, because the Malva admits that 1 shtar was paid off, so we have to assume that the larger sum is paid off, and you can only go after the smaller sum. But here's the interesting halacha that if you say the whole loan, chayv means the loan, it seems like the entire loan is paid off. Shtar is kulon pruin. I have a great riddle. I want Bali Kaira, don't get involved with this one. Think for a second. Where does it say in the Torah? Where does it say in the Torah? Zdei Edom. Zdei Edom. Da, 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 da. Anybody? Yeah, where? The first pasuk that we lay in this parasha, because I saw it in the Rashbam, it says there, and I think there's wow, that sounds familiar. I just couldn't come up with it. And then the Bakar said it like, oh! I said it like 6 times this week. I heard it in Mincha, Monday, Thursday, plus 2 Shnai Mikras. Finally, the 6th time I got it. Okay, so the first pasuk in Parashat Yishlach, it says Deyadam. It's interesting. It's brought down in the Rashbam. Deyadam. Deyadam means all the fields of Edom. So as the Gemara, if I say Sadi in singular, my field is sold to you, so that means the larger of the two. Sada shieshli, but if I just say the word Sada, maybe it means all my fields, all my real estate. According to what you just said, Chayiv means all everything I owe, and so Sada for the same reason should be everything that I own. Says no. When it comes to Malva, the guy holding onto the shtar, he's trying to extract money from somebody else, so he has to. The burden of proof is on him. He's trying to grab money from somebody, so therefore we assume it's the larger amount is paid, the smaller amount not. But when it comes to a sada, I sold you a field. Who's extracting from who? The buyer is taking out of the seller, so the buyer has to prove if he meant this one or that one or all of them. Says the Mishnah. We all know what this is. We're all involved in this. A arev is a guarantor. If you want to go to Gmach today and borrow money for a wedding, you have to bring a guarantor. I got to say this. It's a beautiful thing to be a guarantor. It's a big mitzvah. The Rambam says it's a greater mitzvah than even giving tzedakah. I saw somebody say that you're acting like Hashem. To help somebody needs a loan, you're not even giving him the money. You're standing on the side. On the flip side, this is a great cause of aggravation for many people. If you don't know what you're doing and you can't afford to pay it, Mendy and I know a person in this neighborhood who, let's call him a Kailo guy. He learns in Kailo. And he paid, I think it's $1 million. He was being nice to his friend and he said, okay, I'll be a guarantor. And he just finished paying off $1 million as a Kailo guy. It took him many, many years. Every month he had to pay and pay and pay for something he never benefited, never enjoyed, because he was a guarantor. So if you're a Kailo guy and you can't afford it, don't sign on $1 million house. Sign on a $1,000 loan, whatever it is. It's a mitzvah to do. I'm not saying it's not a mitzvah. Last night in Renana, there's an attorney, and a real estate attorney says, this is what I deal with all day long. These kind of problems. People, just friends that guaranteed things for other people without knowing. He says, first of all, make sure there's a limit to how long it is. Make sure there's a limit to the amount, that you know the amount. He gave us a whole bunch of answers. Anyway, that being said, it's a mitzvah to do. Just be careful how you do it. I don't want to erase that mitzvah. It is a mitzvah and people need it. Loans for houses, to rent an apartment, etc., etc. Lo yiparim in arev. So the Gemara is going to explain it means don't go after the arev. I don't know. Shir has to end at 8:30 today. V'mamar lo al menashe para mimish erza yipara min arev. And if he says specifically, he makes a condition that I am lending you $1 million, I can go after the arev if I feel like, I'll go after you if I feel like it, you can go. Rabbi said, don't forget, I know that some of you didn't listen to the emails or whatever, join Daf Yomi.com, bring another person to Torah, change their lives, it's unbelievable. One guy, it's delegating in the highest degree. Instead of you trying to fill up your bank account with millions and millions of mitzvahs, you get somebody else to do it for you. You bring this guy, he starts learning Torah, you share his mitzvahs. The best way, best delegation. Says the Gemara. No sponsors today. Reb Shimon Gamliel Omer, sponsors tomorrow. Reb Shimon Gamliel Omer, we're running late here. Im yesh nechasim laloiva benkach u benkach lo yipara min ha'arev. If the lender has real estate, he cannot. No. Im yesh nechasim laloiva. What did I say? Oh, laloiva. The loiva, the borrower has real estate, so you can't go after the arev. Benkach benkach lo yipara min ha'arev. V'chein hoyer Reb Shimon Gamliel Omer. On Ma'aseh Shayar boy side this week, this big Rav came here to the shir, and he said, I owe him 34,000 euro. I owe him 34. Why? Because I once guaranteed. I told him. He said, "Can I trust this other guy?" I said, "Yes." You can trust him. He says, "You guarantee me?" I said, "Yes." 8 years later, I don't know how many years later, comes to me and says, "You owe me 34,000 euro. That guy never paid me. You owe it to me." I said, "Do you have any documentation?" No. Do you have a document that I said this? He says, you remember? I said, I remember something, yeah. He says, okay, you owe it to me. I'm an Arab. He came, he looked for me. He's from Chutz La'aretz. He waited for me here by the Shir to tell me I owe him. I should pay him right now. This week. So a woman doesn't trust her new chassan. It says in the ksuba, like a Svardish ksuba, 100,000. You know, Svardish, they put crazy amounts in there. You're 20 years old. You're going to give me $100,000? Seriously? So you bring the uncle. The uncle is going to guarantee it. So this couple's not doing well. They're having struggle with Parnassa. They have a great idea. Let's get divorced for a day. Then we'll go to the uncle and grab the $100,000, and then we'll get remarried again. Geschmack idea. By the way, if that happens, who owes the uncle the $100,000? The husband or the wife? Anybody? The husband owes, but he didn't get a dime. Who owes the money to the Arav? The answer is no one. The husband didn't get a dime.
Got a dime and he paid it.
He did. It went. The money went directly to the woman. I hear what you're saying, but I'm telling you the halacha. You can't go after the husband. You get the money. You gave the money to her. He just said he owes it. Okay. It sounds interesting. Now, what do they have to do? Now, if they really want to use the $100,000, he has to swear that he's never going to benefit from this woman. Therefore, he won't be able to remarry her. And they won't get divorced just to make the $100,000 because they won't be able to get married again. Now, can't you go to a rabbi and do Ataras Nadarim? He said, you, my wife, I'm never going to benefit from you. You do it al das rabbim, very good. You do al das rabbim, you cannot go to the rabbi. Maybe they'll do some sort of trickery. They'll go to the uncle, get the money, and weiter. Says the Gemara, my time. Now, why is it that if the loiva doesn't have any money, you can't go after the Arv? If you look at the last words here on Daf Kuf Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph, it says, Lo yipar min Arv. You shouldn't go to the Arv. I already explained that means you shouldn't go first to the Arv. That's the end of the Gemara. But why can't you go to the Arv? They're trying to say that Arv is different than what you think. We know Arv means if you didn't pay, if the loiva is not paying, you go to the Arv, you go to the guarantor and he has to pay. No, I'm going to tell you a different shot. Gavra ashlimidli, Gavra ashlimidloch. He says like this: I'm a Arav. All my job is to bring you the loiva. If you're looking for the loiva here he is. Go to him. Go to the loiva. I have nothing but the loiva. I'm not going to pay. Says Gemara, Maskil Rav Nachman, Haydina de Parsai. That's what they did in Persia, in Iran. Yeah, the Iranians. They were crazy back then as well. This is what they did then. You can't go after the guarantor. What do you mean you can't go after the guarantor? Adrabah. So the Gemara says, not true. Basa Arvazli. The Persians are so crazy that they don't even go after the borrower. They go straight to the guarantor. That's how crazy they are. Ella Bedina de Parsai. No, I'm saying that they don't use logic. They're like the court system in Persia. They do things without any reason. In other words, if this guy's a guarantor, why can't I go after the guarantor? Says the Gemara, no, you didn't understand. Don't go after the guarantor. First, you could go after him if there's no money by the loiva. First you go to the loiva, don't go to him first, and that makes a lot of sense. You shouldn't go after the guarantor first. But if he stipulated, said, I'm giving you this $1 million on condition I can go after the Arv if I feel like it. Then you can go after the guarantor first. It's a crazy halacha. I could be a guarantor without making a king, without raising a yarmulke, without doing anything. What's pshat? Where do you see this? Yehuda told Yaakov Avinu, I'm a Arev on Benyamin. Maskil Arev Chizda, Hakablanasi. So today we're going to learn a new concept. There's a concept of a guarantor, Arev, and it's called the Arev Kablan. That's a whole other level. How do you become an Arev Kablan? By saying the words Tenloi. Let me push it again. If the Arv says, give him, I want you to give him the loan, then he turns into Arv Kablan, I can go to him first. He's a powerful. So, since Yehuda said, and how do I know that Yehuda was an Arv Kablan? The Chsiv, Tno Isai al Yodi Vani Yashevenu. Now, that pasuk was said by Reuven, not by Yehuda. So the Marsha asks, what do you bring me a right from Reuven? He was Arav Kabbalah, but Yehuda wasn't. Says the Marsha, but Yaakov didn't agree to Reuven, even though he's a Kabbalah. So why would Yehuda offer to be less than what Reuven offered? Reuven was denied, so obviously Yehuda also stepped it up and became a Kabbalah. El Amar Yitzchak Mahacha. How do I know that an Arav works? I could just say, I'll guarantee it, and you are chayiv, like I did with that rabbi. I said, I guarantee it. I didn't write down anything. There's no star. I said, I guarantee it. You see the idea of Arav to a stranger. You should do security for a nachri, for a stranger. If you became an Arav for your friend, you stick out your hand to the stranger, and get stuck with your words from your mouth. You were trapped, so to speak, with your words. Do this at least, and you'll be saved. You came with the palm of your hand, and this is what we're looking for. Go give him from your hand. The Gemara says, if you owe him money, you're the Arav, hater lo pisas yad. You should pay with your hand. Vimlav. If you just insulted him or whatever, then harbi alavrei and bring a lot of friends. Wow. We're going to stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.